Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of the Film Biz Show. The film He's Not Ready has finally hit the big screen. Now we have the honor of having the creators of the film join us to talk about the process of creating the film and much more.
In the rest of the world that exists, that line is a lot more clear. There are guys who do movies and there are guys who do television, right? And so when people sort of think about those two people, two separate people, two separate entities. And that's where we haven't tried to push.
But because there's not enough transparency, you always feel like you don't know enough. You know, it's everything feels like you want to take a step in that direction, but how do I move forward in there?
Please subscribe, like, comment, and turn on the notification button so you are aware of our future episodes that you will love so much. Now, the film He's Not Ready has finally hit the big screen. It's making waves in South Africa, Namibia, Zambia, Botswana, and it's really exciting times for us. Now, we have the honor of having the creators of the film join us to talk about the process of creating the film and much more. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor today to welcome production duo Tebogo Mogale and Sammy Robelele. Welcome, brothers. Yeah, man. How you guys doing?
Lekker, man. Lekker. It's great to be here.
Man. Yeah.
It's great to be here.
Good to have you. Good to have you. Please, if you just can give us a quick rundown of your production company, Beyond the Eyes Network. How did it start, and how long have you guys been in existence?
Well, Beyond the Eyes Network has been in existence since 2015. So we had known each other quite a while before then, varsity days. He was in Tux, I was in UJ. We rolled around in the same circles, and then decided around 2014 that we wanted to do this and we wanted to start our own company and start our own ship. We did that, and from then it's been a lot of learning curves, a lot of lessons, and we're here now. So
yeah, well done.
Yeah. I think it's the same. So probably one of the key things to starting, though, maybe just to help say this, was we were trying to figure out if we can build an ecosystem of, film and TV and figure that out, and we knew the internet was coming. So why 2015 was, it's before like Netflix and them came on shore, and we were like, okay, we can maybe build an online platform that can create some momentum. You can garner a lot of audience and see if we can redirect them to films. But timing is everything. Had COVID hit in 2015, we'd be talking a different story. But COVID came 4 years later.
So what would have happened if COVID had hit 2015?
Oh no, you guys would all be watching like our online, Beyond the Eyes would be an online platform that's flying. Because like COVID was really, really helpful for internet.
It's true.
The internet overall, YouTube proper, and even like platforms like podcasts, all of that. COVID, because people went home and had to sit and figure out what they're watching, So,
that's true.
And so the timing was a bit too early. Then we had to figure out how to build a media company, create content for corporate, make money, stay afloat, put food on the table, and buy the assets that we need to tell the stories, to make movies, So that actually took time.
So now talking about COVID and the repercussions that it had on this business, I know that you guys have been working independently for a while and producing some films. I know He's Not Ready is your second project. Please tell us about your first project, how the process was, and the timing, with COVID, and how did that kind of have a ripple effect on your project?
Right. So our first project was a story called Love by Design.
Beautiful name.
We wrote thank you. It's a tough one to come up with. So we wrote Love by Design just before 2019. And it was an independent, so really, really bootstrapped, small budget. But we knew we won't have another opportunity to start. So we had tried applying for funding, and we were like, listen, it's not gonna, you shouldn't wait until you get funding. Just we wanted to test ourselves. Let's dive in. It'll be our first one. It's gonna be a lot of learning curves there, so it's better to just start. And so 2019, toward the end of 2019, we shot Love by Design. Independently, in and around Pretoria, tried to do as best we could with the budget we had. Then 2020, I think, is when we finished the post. Because remember, you're doing this in between trying to keep your company afloat.
So
it's
corporate
not
gigs.
Corporate gigs.
Oh
So
my
if
goodness.
a client calls, that's where the focus goes to at least keep the lights on. So we finished that. Once we are trying to release, COVID hits.
Oh my goodness.
So platforms say we're not taking in any new content. And so you're sitting with a project that you are happy with. Finally, this labor of love has come to life. We want to put it out.
Well, not necessarily platforms, distributors.
Distributors.
Okay.
Maybe distributors.
Because maybe that's a helpful thing. So platforms might have wanted content, but distributors at that time, it's hard to establish a relationship on the line, on email, because at that time, no one is going into office.
Okay.
You can't meet new people, so you're just sending cold emails. You say, we've got this project. They're like, okay, what is it? No, we're not taking that. Like it was...
But it's a bit disingenuous because that was the time they made most money, these distributors, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry to interject because there's one distributor, local guys.
Yeah.
They made so much money, right? They even managed to get a credit line with an Egyptian-based bank.
Wow.
And they were able, now that they essentially became a production house, a studio of their own. Local guys, I don't want to mention anything. So there was a lot of money made in that period.
And I think the ecosystem of the business lends itself to that, right? Like, so if you're working with a distributor that also has a strong enough production line, your film becomes one of the films that they're trying to distribute.
True.
That's also the other challenge that comes with it. I mean, it's part of the business. It is what it is. But it is like, at the end of the day, any streaming platform is deciding how many they can show in a month.
True.
They can't like flood the market with 20 projects every month. So your project has to, just like in cinema, you have to become one of the ones that they decide they are fielding. And they have to make a decision, do we take yours? Now, if a distributor has some of theirs and one of yours, that maybe also might be the reason why they said, no, we're not going to take it for now. And maybe they...
Also, you don't know the direction that the platform might be. You might want specific type of content, and your content is not
It's not that specific.
So
you had to can the project? Or is it still in the shelves?
No, it's still in the shelf. So you
shelf.
can actually get the trailer. Indigenous is distributing it.
Wonderful.
So if you go on the Indigenous platform, the trailer is out. We're on the waiting line. We're waiting to hear when it's going to get distributed. We're excited about it. It's our first project. So technically our second project went past the first project because we took the second project to cinema.
Okay. Makes a lot of sense. Now I get it. Now, tell me, you've got a deal with the distribution company that say, fine, we love this film, we want to shop it around. But we met at a film festival. We're always around these circles. What happens now if you go and have a sit down, or you happen to meet a distributor who says, you know what, I love this film. I want to put it on my platform and let's do business. What happens in that event?
Yeah, so I think that's a very good question. We haven't had to deal with that quite yet. We thought about shipping distribution. I mean, as a filmmaker, you should hear as many distributors as possible. So that's probably what I would say. But I think because we are new to the industry, we haven't actually tried to do that. We sort of went with the trust.
What do you mean by new?
So as
it's 9 years your company is new. Come on, guys, we should stop this thing. My headmaster was like, the first day we got into the theater, he says, you are not an aspiring actor. You are an actor. Yes, you were studying, and no Oscar's going to make you a film. You've been here.
No, that's a good point. So when I'm saying new, I mean more like within the circles.
Makes sense.
So I don't know. We're still learning how the ecosystem is actually set up. So I say this so people know me will know. You have to figure out there's many ways in the film industry, in the ecosystem. There's many ways to make money.
So true.
We're figuring out one of the ways. But we need more and more people to keep figuring out different ways. We know one of the ways is making commissioned work, and it works. Now, does it work longevity? We don't know, at least not for the actors. That's why there's this bill that's going out, because they say it's not working for them. What are the other ways that can work? We need to investigate them, if that makes sense. But we can't keep doing the same thing and then say, it doesn't work, if that makes sense. So in our figuring out, we're learning how other people have done it and trying to figure out how it does. So one of the ways was to go to the distributor, give them this project. The second movie, we're doing another way. We're going to take this one to cinema and see if that actually gets the support that it needs at cinema. And if it does really, really well at cinema, then we can go to a distribution company and say, here's the movie. You saw it just did well at cinema. Would you guys put it up?
Wonderful.
But
Now,
I
let's-
also
yeah.
think, Marcus, you have an affinity to the person that believes in your project first. That element of, let's call it pseudo loyalty to, yeah, but you did say yes.
When no one else did.
No one was saying yes. You said yes.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So when someone tries to hijack that, you have to feel some kind of way about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mara ish. They saw me first, and I, you know what I mean. Let me at least have that conversation.
It's like a high school dance.
Yeah, it does.
So
It does.
true.
It does. The
So
girl
true.
asked you before the girl you like asked you.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what
It's
I
the
mean?
one,
Now,
the one who came first.
There you go.
Now, He's Not Ready second film. I had the honor and privilege and pleasure of attending the premiere in Rosebank. Wonderful. Well done, gents, for
thank you,
such
thank you,
Thanks
mate.
for coming.
a beautifully organized event, and also a beautiful film that you guys put together with a wonderful cast of well-experienced actors who have been doing great things in the country. And when I looked at this project, I'm thinking to myself, this is an independent project. It really made me feel a sense of hope within this business that we're in. Do you mind just sharing as a writer and director of this project, what your inspiration was in penning He's Not Ready?
Sure, that's a good one. I think, one, there's been a lot of conversation in and around the topic of dating, marriage, that space.
Yeah, blue pill, red pill.
Blue pill, red pill, that conversation exists. Now, statistically, the stats say South African black men are no longer getting married at the rates that they used to.
Yeah.
That's a stat.
That's true.
It's not happening as often. And so part of the inspiration was to look at why is that? What are some of the deterrents that prevent that from happening, right? But also what does help is lived experience, friends who are in similar spaces, but also part of our early days of starting the business, we were actually wedding videographers and photographers.
Oh my
So when you are
goodness.
taking jobs,
Yeah.
you're trying to get everything you can. And part of that was shooting weddings. Because, you know, when you need money, you gotta
You gotta do what you
it's
gotta
gonna
do.
take. Do what it's gonna take.
Yeah.
And that experience helped me a lot, because what people don't realize is when you are shooting weddings, the family treats you, they forget you are there. So you get treated like a fly on the wall. And
You get to see the
secrets,
dynamics.
the dynamics that are happening, secrets come out, everything is happening front face. You're in the room, but people don't consider you. And so, and so the stories you hear, the characters you see, you know what I mean? And we've shot weddings that were great. We've shot weddings that were not great. And you learn a lot about human behavior, what people are thinking.
So from that
thinking,
from that
so
experience, sorry
that
to
helps.
interject, bro.
Yeah,
From
right.
that experience, would you
Yeah.
say from the weddings,
Yeah.
it was easy to see a marriage that will last and the one that won't?
Oh, without a doubt.
You can tell.
You
And
can-
what was the biggest
you
difference?
can even tell.
Yeah.
We'd probably sometimes make like small bets.
Yeah.
2 years. 2 years.
You do
Some be
decide.
like 3 months.
For real?
To everyone
Oh my
whose wedding
God.
we shot.
no, please don't.
Don't think.
Not
"Eish,
talking about yours."
Hey, it's not yours. It's not yours.
Okay, yeah.
No, but
Yours.
no. So it's you can sense like there's weddings where you're like, there's a lot of cold feet here. It doesn't feel like. It feels like they're pushing this thing over the line. Like it's and there's weddings where you can see, there's a serious excitement. There's clear, there's buy-in. Now weddings, it takes a lot to make a marriage work.
Yeah.
So you don't know why marriages work or don't work. But we do. But there's a lot of reasons why marriages work or don't work. But at the wedding, you can already tell a lot. You can tell a lot from buy-in. Is this dude really like? In. I mean, we've got like some seriously dope stories. Like I'll tell you this one story. The one wedding we had, the dude didn't like. The wedding was supposed to start say Gaboma at 10. The dude literally pitched there at 4. I know, true story. You know how many pre-wedding photos you can take?
Sure.
You can take a lot.
Sure.
Wait, just to pass time.
Okay.
Aroshita mama. Like they do the makeup.
And what was his excuse?
He didn't have a suit.
Oh, he didn't
I don't know.
prepare.
No, it was
he
a bad
buying a
excuse.
suit. I'm buying a suit.
No.
No,
it was a-
The fucker
But-
was fucking around.
The funny part was his groomsmen were there. And his groomsmen said, the word he used was linyalo.
Lenyala le cancel.
Hale cancel.
Can't cancel.
And you're like, yo, these guys are so sure that, we were with him yesterday. Or like, yo, this is like, this is. And by the way, I know this sounds like, but this was like at a really dope venue. So this is not like it was like they shoved out money. You're like, yo, this guy's.
So
but
now,
they did the wedding.
Now with the film, we start off wonderful scene with Umpo Pops, who I love so much, and Auski Dumetsi, who's doing phenomenally well, also in Champions at the moment. And it's a lovely scene, about a best friend who's very single and horny and lonely. And who says, if there's any, single guys out there, I'm ready, And I love how you just introduce the concept of, it's the same thing that happens in a film like The Godfather, whereas, there's that have these lavish sort of like dinners and, beautiful events, but there was a strong sense of loneliness among someone like a Michael Corleone and so on. So even with that opening scene, a beautiful event, but the truth is, as modern Black people, we are going through a lot of isolation and loneliness and desperation to meet people. And it's a crazy concept. And I love how the love between, the two leads, was, in fact, they've been together for a while, but the problem is that, the gent is just not ready. And how do you make a man ready when he honestly and genuinely isn't? How was the process of just basically unfolding this narrative?
So the process was, it wasn't as difficult in the sense that there were enough examples that I knew, and let me not also exclude myself, right? So when you are going through the process of penning it, you first think, Shasi, how was I dealing with this? You know what I mean? And so the character of Tabo, dating for 7 years, here's the dynamic. I think most guys can be comfortable in that space.
Especially after that long.
For whatever reason. Yeah, this was the destination, Rasha. We're good. We're dating. We're good. We're good. There's no need to change the status quo. But for his girlfriend, time, dog. What are we doing? Where are we going? They need a plan. And so I saw that happening to friends of mine. Like, it hits him like a brick. Like, yo, bro, you're not young anymore. At some point...
you gotta do it.
Like, you can't be surprised that she's asking you this question. You know what I mean? But you can genuinely see her. He's gobsmacked. We're good in this space. What do you mean? And a part of that, there's a lot of reasons behind that. You know what I mean? It's not just that he's saying, "Are we okay?" It's, I know that if I say, "Let's move forward," it opens up a world of implications for me, which change the dynamic of my life,
and also what we have right now,
and what we have. So we don't know if we open that conversation up. If it hurts or helps
what we have.
So, and there's that conversation we don't have a lot, especially as gents. So you can see that, it's not just as easy as, yeah, babe, I love you, let's do it. It's not that easy. For all I know, I know my mom will hate you. That's part of the reason. I just know. Oh, I have dangles here and there. I'm dangling. I'm not sure you're the one. So there's a lot of, and yeah, that was seemingly the process.
And now one thing that's really been very impressive, and I really want to just, give a shout out to you guys, is securing a 28 cinema deal. 28, in South Africa, outside of Africa, out of South Africa. You got two competing, lead, cinema houses, New Metro, Stay Kineko, both signed to a deal. How did that come about? What was your process of securing that?
So I think in our partnership, so Tebogo has to figure out the creatives.
Yes, sir.
And we back it and we figure out how we... but green lighting takes a process. We didn't just choose... He's not ready, was chosen from a few others. But once we've greenlit, then the business side is for me to carry that weight because it's hard for one person to carry both.
So true.
So on the business side, then it became, okay, if we're going to go to cinema, because initially we weren't going to go to cinema. But we were like, but it's so difficult because figuring out the ecosystem.
Yes,
cinema, we have to fix cinema. We have to figure out cinema. So once we decided that way, it's like we have to give it the best chance. And for the best chance, you need the most cinemas as possible. So we then we stopped at New Metro first and had the conversation. And I think, like I said, when we did the online TV platform, it wasn't the right time.
Yeah.
It just so happened to be the right time. They were so receptive. So they were so receptive. So after going from there, then we went and set up a meeting with Steak in a Co. I think it helps that we had great veteran actors. We've got Pops, we've got Bosolo Sobotsana, Patrick Bukaba, So I think upon just looking at it, they were like, okay, I think we have to give it a chance. But also in this season, after the strikes in Hollywood, I think cinema realizes, Steak in a Co and New Metro realizes the importance of having a healthy local base, because if they decide to have another strike, what happens? What do people go watch? So you need to really have a healthy feeder of cinema movies. And so, I think just before us, another champion, Vuyani Bila had just put out something, Face Deep. And so we're like, okay, listen, we see you doing this thing. We've got a rom-com. So rom-coms, I think the nature of the movie, you can sell it a little bit better. So we asked them for more. We asked them for bigger. But obviously with more cinemas, you need then better marketing. Because, word of mouth, it's where you are. So Joburg, Pretoria, it would be easy to sell it there. Rustenburg maybe. But beyond that, it would be difficult. So that's why then you need to figure out, can you do billboards? Can you do mass market on digital? Right. Can you get TV, radio? So, and they actually want to know if you can do that. So that was a big thing to convince Steak in a Co and New Metros that, no, we'll do the marketing that is necessary to try get people into cinema.
Wonderful. Now, gents, I come from a theatre background, right? And as a theatre producer, I'll tell you now, the deals that the producers are getting in with these institutions sometimes are really horrendous. 80-20, 70-30, you know what I mean? And you've put so much money in trying to get, your cast there, your set, this, that, and the third. What kind of a split do these cinema houses do with independent producers?
So it depends on the cinema, number one. So they both, it's close, but they slightly different.
Okay.
So, and it's a negotiation.
And it depends
as well.
on the cinema chain. So the bigger the cinema chain, the more of the lion's share you'll ask, and so on and so forth. So the independent cinemas, you are probably more likely to get a better deal. But then again, they have fewer screens. So with Steak in a Co, I think the split is about 55-45 to their favor, which is now they're talking, right? So because it used to be a 60-40 split back in the day. So now they're starting to talk. New Metro is even better. New Metro is at 50-50.
Awesome.
So that at least really incentivizes local to say, let's go try it.
So though you can do they do have a sliding scale way where you can get more on the front end, but then after the second week and the third week, it gets to the place where they get more. It doesn't stop at 50-50.
Okay, makes sense.
So there's always a risk because, we've just done our first weekend. If more people go in the second weekend, you see the sliding scale would work against us. So you actually then have a consistent. So you'd rather stay consistent is their recommendation, actually, which we took again, in partnership. They said yes. So you take what they offer. You're like, no, we'll take it. It's our first time around. Yeah.
Now, what are your takeaways within the South African cinema landscape and what's happening in Kenya, what's happening in Namibia and Botswana? What have you guys identified? And the buying power, how was it in other African countries?
So, I think the most buys you get is in Nigeria. Now, you don't get the most money out of Nigeria, but you get the most buys. So most people go watch the movie. There is a cinema culture in Nigeria. They've developed it over a long, long time. And they really do put us to shame a little bit. Kenya, so people go to cinema, even in South Africa. You know, like after this first week, like people were packing out in cinema.
Wonderful.
So people are watching movies. It's just that they're not watching our movies. So that the figuring out is figuring out how do we get them to watch our movies. Kenya has the same problem we have.
Okay.
So we watch more Hollywood than we do. So in truth, I sometimes think about, you know, the unpopular opinion, but like something of what the Cloudy did for the music industry. Like
we need that.
we do
need
because
that. But now we got Gaten McKenzie.
Hey.
Now we got owns Baizani. So let's hope, you know.
Because, you know, he doesn't now, not everything he did was, I know it's unpopular opinion, but the amount of now local music that we churn out, I mean, you listen to radio station, I'm so not used to listening to international artists anymore.
Yeah.
I'm so our favorite artists are local artists.
That's true.
You know, and we collaborate. So for me to listen to an international artist, it's because they're collaborating with our artists.
So true.
Which is crazy to think about. At some point, I remember when they pushed through the music thing, we were like, what are we going to listen to? And now we're all listening, you know, and new genres come up, new things happen. So not that I'm against international films, but I do think we need time to learn our stories and learn how to tell our stories because we can do that. So do we need a space nyana to learn and tell? Maybe we do. You know, and I think maybe you'll get more people into cinema. I don't know. It's just a thought. Again, like I said, there's many directions. Someone has to figure out one. You know, I can't decide on that. Maybe Gaten McKenzie can lead us that direction.
But let's sorry, Debs, before Rafi come on, I just want to ask about the Nigerian market. You say Nigerian market has got droves of people going into the cinema, watching their films. What are they watching?
Their films.
Their stuff.
Their stuff. They release. So again, transparency is also big. So what we don't do a good job of is transparency.
In terms of?
So, and maybe that's why I said I'm still learning more from the outside and you know, I'm inside, I'm not from the outside, I heard you. But because there's not enough transparency, you always feel like you don't know enough. You know, it's everything feels like you want to take a step in that direction, but how do I move forward in there? So something like the Film Biz Show is a great platform for that, so that people are... So Nigerians do a good job of transparency. So if you go on Film One, if you follow Film One, which is one of the distributors there, or any of the other, they'll report, this is how much this movie made in this first weekend. You know, this many naira. You know, this is how much it's made overall. You know, so what that does is transparency is not just for the producer and the watcher. Transparency is vitally important for the investor. Because if the investor knows how much the movie is going to make, then they might not invest in the extra flat. You know, I've already got 5 of those. I can take a chance on your movie. But we can't prove ROI. Which is crazy because there's been so many movies. So why can't I say, no, these movies made this much, so therefore you can actually make, you know, so there are no books. And then also the culture of setting up a company for a movie and then close that company and go set up another company for a movie and then close that company. So there isn't any transparency financially now. So as someone who comes from finance, like that's so important. Because so you can't even use other people's books to prove ROI to your investors.
No.
So now what you have to do is you have to go put in your own money, go do the movies to prove the ROI, to then go to investors and say, this is how much we can make. So what they've done well is that. So they've proven ROI. So then what people is that Nigerians who have extra money, Nigerians who live in the UK, Nigerians who live in America are able to take their dollars and say, yeah, I'll make the money. If you can prove that you can make 300,000 Rand, which is what the good ones make in Nigeria, if you can prove that you can make 300,000 Rand, I'll give you 100,000 Rand to make it. Figure that out. And then now if you're making 10 of those, because they churn out a lot at the same time as well. So if they make like 5 of them in a year, then it makes it to 1.5 million. And maybe they're happy with that. Yeah.
Sammy, sorry, I just want to maybe let our viewers know. So what he means by every film you start our own company, people don't realize that a film is a company.
Yeah.
Right.
Not just the production house. When you have a film, you register that film as a... So he's not ready, has a registration number, has a tax number, has a budget, has employees, and so on and so forth. And once you're done with that project, you close it, you get to the next project, you register a new company being the new film. So that's what you explain.
Right. So that's the transparency becomes lacking because then we don't keep track.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I don't know if you.
No, I was just saying, in the technical term of that is an SPV. It's a special purpose vehicle.
Yes, sir. Now, one thing I've heard, right, from our audiences, and which I think is a bit problematic when it comes to going out and watching cinema, is, man, I see these guys every day on my TV. Why do I want to go, and go to the cinema and watch the same people I see all the time on television? What's the difference? Plus, I'm paying more for popcorn and snacks than I am really for the actual content that I'm watching. Why do we have that issue? And Nigeria doesn't seem to be struggling in that regard.
Yeah, I think maybe partially is also the experience of cinema. So they've understood, at least, that the communal watching experience holds a lot of value compared to the, isolated single experience I have in my room, my TV, whatever. So that's one. And I think number two is they develop the culture of not just TV stars, but film stars, which becomes a different dynamic, right? So in the rest of the world, that exists. That line is a lot more clear. There are guys who do movies and there are guys who do television, right? And so when people sort of think about those two people, two separate people, two separate entities. And that's where we haven't tried to push. And that's where the opportunity is. So when someone says, Esh, why should I go see Marcus at the cinema when I know I'm going to see him? Yes,
On Bob's
you know what I mean?
What's so special?
What's so special about it?
Yeah.
Is because, so you have to then switch your mind to, but you don't know what Marcus can do in a film versus what he does on
But
TV.
the other problem is that people don't understand the difference between film and TV in the first place.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
So it's like...
That's true. So there is a lot of education to be done in and around that. So we have to educate our audience to say, film and television are as different as music and theater. It's two different formats. It's two different art forms.
So I mean, the easiest way to do it is like some TV shows will try, because you have to get a certain TV show out it's within a certain time. Yeah. And you'll shoot like 20-something pages, say 30 pages, some would force. Now, to make you understand, like 30 pages of production is a lot of work. So which means you're getting on set at 6 a.m. in the morning, you're getting off that set maybe at 10 at night, trying to get those pages out. Now, in no way can you ask that actor to give you the best of themselves when they're giving you 30 pages a day, So the problem with our film and TV mix is that then we try to bring that to film. So that's why you hear then that, we shot the film over a weekend. And you're like, because the film is like 90 pages. So you try to fit 30 pages a day into, so you're never going to get the best looking film because you're never going to get the best performance out of the actors.
I have to tell you. So I have a mentor based in Cape Town, white man from LA, and he's in distribution and also production. And so we were having a conversation about distribution. And he was like, so he's like, okay, fine. So he was looking for local money to kind of invest in his distribution company. He wants a new partner. So I was like, okay, well, that's really exciting. Maybe now you can get a local partner, and then we can start, putting money into local productions. He's like, Marcus, to tell you the honest truth, there is no appetite for local content, with some of these international streamers because of how you guys tell your story.
Right.
Your stories are very soapy-like. Very telenovela-like. Right. Even if you can label it as a feature film. And it makes sense. Now, with the equity split in terms of cinema, the comparison between SA and other territories or countries, Namibia, Botswana, is it the same?
So obviously Namibia and Zambia becomes the same because you're talking to the same person in terms of New Metro and Stekinoko. Yeah. But Bots was a different negotiation. So we gave them the same as New Metro, but the reality is we could have negotiated for more. I think we'll see now with Kenya because we're having a conversation there, but we're having a conversation there also through a distributor. This, I think it's called Crimson Multimedia is the name of the distributor, because you remember Kenya is not just Kenya. Kenya becomes the landing space for Uganda and Tanzania, the east
For the
side.
East Africa.
So they've got a sort of like a different kind of ecosystem.
Right.
They've
going
got
there.
what we have here with the Kineko and New Metro, there exists that in the east,
Wonderful.
in the same way that Nigeria. So if we had
Okay.
gotten Nigeria, Nigeria would have gotten us into Ghana and the territories around.
That's pretty awesome. So now let's talk about marketing.
Yes, sir.
Right? Which is the most challenging part of independent filmmaking. It's already challenging,
Yeah.
but now you have to sell this film.
Right.
And there's something called point of sale marketing where we get into the cinemas, we see, your bad boys holding up a gun like this, Will Smith, Do you guys have the same privilege, and how do you kind of navigate that space?
No, we don't. We don't have that privilege. And that's where, in truth, I think because we're learning now for the first time, if we do it again, which we will, we're going to make another movie and take it to cinema. And we would push harder for spending most of our marketing at point of sale. So currently we spend most of the marketing budget in awareness and raising awareness around. So now, I mean, with the current numbers, we would do well to get maybe 5% of the people who we've made aware into cinema,
Wonderful.
which is not a great return, but we'll take it. So if you tell 2 million people about the movie and you get 10,000 people to watch the movie,
That's a fair amount.
you've done well.
How do you-
But at point of sale marketing, if we had spent most of our money at point of sale, whether activations or whatever, we didn't think about it. Now we'd have to talk to our partners, the Kineko and New Metro first, to say, can we make a decision? Can we help people make a decision at point of sale? That's actually worthwhile to spend all your budget, maybe say 60% of your budget there. Because that's where Mark has already decided. He's left home. I'm going to watch a movie. I'm with my girlfriend. Now, if my person there says, Marcus, consider this movie. This movie is dope. And you're going to find me afterwards. And if it's not dope, I'll give you money back. I don't think we'll say that. But, what the point is. Like, you win better. So, because, now the point of sale marketing is so dope, dude. Like, when you're pressing, because now you choose a ticket at the ticket screen.
Yeah.
The popcorn one, I saw Will Smith, the Martin Lawrence, but already 2 years old. Where I'm pressing.
On the screen.
On the screen.
Dude.
Like literally inside that screen.
Dude.
Wow.
How do you fight that?
And you got to pay to have that privilege, right?
Of course, it's pay to play there.
Okay.
Like, and I don't
But
know how
remember,
much.
they do all of it. So it's not just
They do
concentrated.
awareness.
Yeah.
So by the time you get to the cinema,
Yeah, you heard so much.
you
of
know
it.
that you've seen enough of bad boys around. You've seen the
Yeah.
billboards, you've seen it on TV, you've heard it on radio. By the time you get there, you are conscientized. Then you see the cutout cardboards of Martin Lawrence and Will Smith Valiso. So they're constantly reinforcing that image
True.
in your head, right? So by the time you press, popcorn
You're
pops
already-
up. There he is again. You know what I mean? So to move one from there, yeah. So even if we do point of sale, you can't neglect the other marketing.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's still, you need the person to have seen or heard a touch point somewhere to get them to the cinema. Then at
Okay.
the cinema, you're
Interesting.
fighting that.
So probably budget-wise, you have to go 2-1.
Yeah.
Whatever you spend on the movie,
Yeah.
2 times that must be spent on marketing.
My Lord. And that's not even,
No.
that's not what's been currently been spent.
No,
on
not
cinema.
even. Nowhere near.
Not even
But
close.
okay, well, here we go, right? 2 questions. Firstly, you were saying if you can get 5% of the people, of your footprint in terms of numbers, then at least you would have made a decent amount. How do you determine, how are you able to kind of register that footprint? Like right now, you guys, even after this, you'll be going to a radio interview.
Right.
So do you have a consultant that's currently working with you and saying, once we touch these points, we would have reached 5 million people, and this is, my estimation of.
So we have 2 PR people who've helped us in this film. And they're people who've been in radio. That's really what it is. It's people who've been in radio and marketing. And it's still a guesstimate, in truth. It's not perfect, especially with awareness campaigns. And then we have a good partner in JC DeCow, who've allowed us to,
Shout out.
push. We actually have a good growing partnership with the Royal Bafokeng Nation, because we were trying to push Rustenburg that way, and and I'm from there, so and my people are supporting me. So you're trying to really get numbers behind you. You're trying to get churches. You're trying to, So I mean, it's really the Tyler Perry model, right? Like he got all the church behind him, so he comes to cinema with a guaranteed market.
Yeah.
So if you can find a way to guarantee your market, then make movies for that market as a starting birth. Then after you've guaranteed making movies for that market, then you will grow to other people. Because what you need to really prove is footprint. You know, like I think that's even the Indian market in South Africa does that well. I mean, that's why, I mean, I think how much did Kandasamis, they made like 16 million on that first one?
They make good money.
That's ridiculous. That's impressively, like that would mean they probably put 160,000 bodies or 200,000 bodies through the cinema. So that means they went for 200,000 Indian people, or you know, included predominantly would have watched. That's impressive.
But also, don't be too harsh on yourselves now. It was also before the pandemic.
It was
before the streaming. And even now, they're licensing directly to Netflix. Right. You know what I mean? So, you know, but anyway.
Yeah, but the main point is, how do we build a film community? And this is maybe outside of what the existing film community that exists is there. I like the existing film community. You know, I like the stories that are being told. But we do need a film community that's very people orientated. You know, so the person on the street, how do we create a way that they actually want to go watch the movie? So that's really the drive. But marketing is a big part of it, of course. Yeah.
And each sort of marketing point has numbers. So that's where the estimate can come in. So if I'm saying I'm trying to reach 2 million people and I'm going to do this radio show, this radio show, this radio show, they tell you we have this many listeners listening at this time.
On average,
this many listeners. This publication has this many readers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you
This
tally those
billboard.
numbers up, this billboard gets this many eyes. So you have to guesstimate. Tally those numbers up and say, okay, we need to reach 2 million. And of that 2 million, then they're aware. How do we convert 5% of the 2 million to walk into this?
Big job ahead, boys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But we built for it.
No, we do.
Yeah. So now, gents, we're going to get to the exciting part, chilled part of our conversation. This is Game Time with Juliet. Yeah. You said she'll ask us some questions, and we'll go up against each other and see who has more knowledge of film and television.
Oh my God. Don't worry, this game is not bad, guys.
Okay.
Kind of, it's chill, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay, so this one's pretty easy. It's just sound movie quotes or sound bites, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna say a famous line. I want you guys to tell me which actor said it. Bonus points if you can tell me the character.
All right.
Simple, right? So for example, I'll be back. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator.
There you go.
Easy, right? Okay. I don't know if one of them will be that easy, but let's have fun. If you get the answer, just put up your hand. We're gonna do it school style.
Okay.
Right. Let's go. First one, easy. I see dead people.
Got it.
Come on.
Haley Joel Osment.
You actually got it right. You know,
Sixth Sense.
most people actually say versus Bruce Willis. So I'm proud that you got the right person.
Man. And she was still young.
Yeah, he was very young. He's,
one of the twins, ne?
No.
It's
The guy, the boy who
boy.
plays
in the
like
series The Good
Oh,
Doctor.
Yes, he's amazing. Okay, wow, you were ready. Okay, John Gate, not the song.
Oh, wait,
Oh, no, come on.
that's Tsotsi.
Yeah.
And that's Nambita.
You got it. Damn.
Okay. You gotta say the surname too as well.
Apologize.
Not Marcus putting in the rules.
They're beating me.
Hey, dog, you need to hurry up. Film
Don't
business
worry.
to get points.
Don't worry.
Okay, ready? The next one. You can handle the truth. Marcus.
Wait, Al Pacino. Sheesh.
No,
Okay,
you got it wrong.
pass it.
Sammy.
Robert De Niro.
No, wrong.
A Few Good Men.
Okay, right.
No.
Wrong
Chop your ass.
Right.
No, it is Robert De Niro.
It's not Robert
No,
De Niro. It's not in A Few Good Men.
It's Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
No, but
So who does that go to? Who does that go to?
It's
I
guest
started
versus.
the thing.
It's guest versus.
You guys are wrong. Why did I say Robert De Niro? What's wrong with you guys?
Jack.
It's okay. I'll erase it from edit.
Okay, sorry.
I won't. Anyway. Okay. Just two more and then I'll let you go.
Cool.
Okay. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you're here? I think you put your hand up first because you smacked the table.
The character's name is Maximus
Oh, damn.
Decimus
Oh.
Meridius
Oh, okay.
from The Gladiator.
Okay, sir. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
But who's the actor? Let's start there. It's okay. We
Oh,
forgive
it's
you.
done him.
Let's just go
Tell us.
Yeah, he's gone blank.
He's Australian.
Russell Crowe.
Yes.
And you went
you
blank.
are-
You went blank. I saw you go blank. I saw your eyes go blank.
Absolutely amazing.
I saw his eyes go blank.
Okay, one more.
Okay.
I don't know if you're gonna get this one because it's a bit niche, but
Okay.
anyway. Pa. Woo!
Hey, all right, come on, you must give me that one.
Okay, Marcus.
Okay.
He's thinking,
Wait.
Okay, 5. Wait, 5.
Hlala ngabafilelwa. Mention Gubeni.
Oh,
and
yes.
that.
Yeah.
And it was what's that thing, man? We even made a rendition of it.
Even if you just say his character name, it's fine.
Okay.
But you got the character, the actor right, so you got a point. A singular point for from the show, by the way. Yes.
Okay.
Damn.
At least.
I'm personally so impressed. Like, you guys kind of really killed it.
Nah, these guys.
That was, I'm kind of shook. Okay,
No,
guys.
but
That was amazing.
We've
Obviously,
watched a lot of films in our lives.
I love it. And you need to come back. Okay, cool. Obviously, the winners are our guests. Thank you. You,
Episode number 33.
Boom.
Beyond the Eyes registered a win. When we put somewhere at
We'll
the
put
back
it-
there, they're gonna put
we'll make a
Amanda.
graphic. We'll
Amanda.
make a graphic for
No,
you.
they're the champions.
You
Okay.
win bragging rights. Sorry, you don't have a gift.
Yeah.
33.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Juliet.
much.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Juliet.
So, guys, we have a mini segment called "Put Them On." It's all about putting someone on. Basically, it's about highlighting an upcoming filmmaker in whatever capacity. That you think that we should check out in South Africa, someone that you feel is coming up and will definitely create a huge buzz as time goes on. Are there any upcoming actors, cast members, producers, anyone within our ecosystem that you think the country should be looking out for?
Yeah, everyone on the film, he's not ready. If I have to mention names, Boto Malashwa,
Oh, yeah.
Mpule Mathola, Simpo Matenjwa, Khanyisa Ntomi, Zanokuhle Mhlongo. These are, I believe, names that
Bongani
you have.
Benedict
Bongani Benedict Masango. Yeah.
So that's on the actor side.
casting side.
So if you go watch He's Not Ready, you'll be quite blown away by some of the new talent coming out. And I think on the creative side, someone who's churning out a lot of content, who, like Sammy Buru, he does a lot of content, man. I think you guys should have him because their production company do a lot.
Yeah, we've worked together on a few projects.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I'll call him up.
You definitely have to call him
Call him
because
up.
they do a lot of film.
Yeah.
And they're very film focused. So there's someone we look at and we're like, yo, dude, you're putting us to shame. It makes you go to work.
Right.
But I'm sure I'm waiting for something from this team here.
Yeah.
definitely.
They need to be on the lookout. This
Yeah.
team will come out
Yeah.
I'm really
Fantastic.
excited about
We've got
you guys.
some
coming out.
very, very strong guys in our team.
There you go.
And we're working on some new projects. Shout out to Slew.
For sure.
His movie's coming out next month. Oh, he's in pre-production right now.
Okay.
And so we're shooting, and he just featured in the Basha Festival, Uhuru Festival last
nice.
week. Documentary produced. So we got some really interesting filmmakers. And Dimpo, our assistant, has. I was shooting a film, and she was one of part of the production team. So
There you go.
I'm proud of you.
Nice.
They were very proud, very proud. That's how it starts, man. We need more of you guys coming out. We need more. We need
Definitely. But gents, you guys have. Every time I'm with you, I just get a sense of. I anticipate great things that will come in the country. I think you guys will be, you are really blowing off the lid, and you're creating a path of your own in which the next generation will be following. And some of us as independent producers will be following the path that you're beating. So I just want to say thank you for fighting the war that you're fighting, because you're not just fighting it for yourself, you're fighting it for the rest of us. You're figuring out a path, and wherever we are in our lane, we're doing the same, and we're exchanging ideas. I wish you all the best for He's Not Ready. May you have a successful run, and may God bless your journey.
Oh,
Thank you so much,
Marcus. Looking forward, man. Looking forward to what's coming out of here. We really love this platform. We've been watching. We've been watching. Episode 33, you guys have done well.
Let's
Congrats.
keep growing, man. Strength to strength. Shout out.
Peace out.